A two listening story. 10. Elizabeth II, Modern Britain and Constitutional Monarchy.
My name is Lily and I am a young journalist in London. I write articles about the news for a big newspaper. In 2022, I was on the streets when the country said goodbye to a great queen. Today I want to tell you about her life. Her name was Queen Elizabeth II. She was the queen for more than 70 years, longer than any other king or queen in British history. She lived through huge changes, but she was always there for her people. Elizabeth was born in 1926 in London. Her father was Prince Albert, the second son of King George V. Her uncle was the older son, so Elizabeth's father was not going to be the king. The little girl was called Lilibet by her family. She had one younger sister, Margaret. The two girls had a happy childhood. They had small dogs, and they loved horses. But in 1936, everything changed. Elizabeth's grandfather died. Her uncle became the new king, but he wanted to marry an American woman who was already divorced. The country said no. So her uncle gave up the crown. Now her father was the new king, King George VI. Little Elizabeth, only 10 years old, was the next in line for the throne. Elizabeth grew up during the Second World War. The royal family stayed in London, even when bombs were falling. When she was 18, she joined the army to help. She learned to drive a truck and to fix engines. She wanted to do her part, like every other young woman. In 1947, Elizabeth married a young naval officer called Philip. They had 4 children, Charles, and Andrew, and Edward. The young family was very happy. But again, things changed quickly. In February 1952, Elizabeth and Philip were on a trip to Africa. They were watching wild animals from a treehouse. While she was there, her father, the king, died at home in England. Suddenly, Elizabeth was the new queen. She came home in a black dress. She was only 25 years old. The next year, in 1953, she had her coronation in Westminster Abbey. It was the first coronation on television. Millions of people watched. The world changed a lot during her 70 years as queen. In the 1950s and 1960s, the big British Empire ended. Many countries became free and got their own governments. Queen Elizabeth visited them all. She was the head of a new family of countries called the Commonwealth. The Queen did not make laws. In a constitutional monarchy, the Prime Minister and Parliament do that work. The Queen had no real political power. But she gave the country a feeling of peace and history. She met 15 prime ministers in her life, from Winston Churchill to many young leaders. Every week, she had a meeting with the prime minister to talk about the country. She was a quiet but strong woman. She loved her dogs, called corgis. She loved her horses. She was a great-grandmother in her last years. In 2022, she had a big party for 70 years on the throne. Streets were full of people. A few months later, in September 2022, Queen Elizabeth died at her home in Scotland. She was 96 years old. Her son Charles became the new king. The whole world watched her funeral on television. She showed us that a leader can do a long, hard job with quiet strength and a sense of duty.
Вы прослушали историю Елизавета II, современная Британия и конституционная монархия. Текст составлен проектом «Скор на слышание». Переходите в канал проекта и проверьте себя при помощи диагностического вопроса.